Okay, so Dessie, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview with me as part of my e-portfolio.
Okay.
So Dessie, you completed an e-portfolio as part of your Masters in Personal and Management Coaching.
Yeah.
And as part of that Masters, you completed an e-portfolio. So what did you think was beneficial about doing the e-portfolio? What did you find beneficial about using artifacts?
For me, it was... Okay, I'm going to give you a brief bit of a background here. So for me, I sustained a spinal cord injury back in 2011.
Okay.
So I did my thesis on the benefits of... It was kind of like an exploration, actually, into the benefits, if any, of life coaching on those that sustained a spinal cord injury, because I had sustained a spinal cord injury myself, and I had found benefits from it.
Okay.
So that's why I did my thesis in that area.
Okay.
So with that, in my study, there was a coaching intervention carried out on 5 individuals.
Okay.
They got 5 coaching sessions each.
Okay.
But at the end of each, at the end of the 5 sessions, there was an interview carried out, and with that, the interview was recorded, and the recording was to find out, what themes emerged, what benefits, if any, did the actual coachees get from life coaching. And again, all of them had sustained, as I said, a spinal cord injury.
Okay.
But there was huge learnings from it, in that, there's no way that I would have picked up from the interviews. I would have picked up some of the themes, but actually going through the recordings afterwards,
using videos and using audios and all that.
Using audio, I was able to really pinpoint, what were the themes here, what worked, and also what didn't work. And it was really interesting going through each one. So there was huge benefit from the recording side of things, and also for me, as I mentioned, Aoife, I sustained a spinal cord injury myself, right? So I mean, it was so beneficial to me to be able to go through that recording. I wasn't, my hands have been affected since I sustained the injury. So I mean, if I was typing up bullet points whilst doing the interview, it wouldn't have been as impactful at all. Whereas I had the recording, I was able to go back over that. It didn't, I didn't interrupt the interview. I was able to reflect on it quite deeply, and as I said, find out what themes emerged.
Very good. So you enjoyed using videos and using audios and using pictures and things like that. You thought that they benefited a lot more maybe than using words in some cases?
Yeah. Rather
than writing, continuously.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, a picture is definitely worth 1,000 words, and it can be so descriptive when you look at something.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure, I definitely found that side beneficial. And for me, there wasn't many videos, but the audio side of things was massive. And that went forward. It wasn't broadcast, but it was so good for my supervisor to actually go through it and to make sure that I hadn't gone off track. She only did that at the very end, but it was great to see that it showed real accuracy throughout the whole thing. I suppose it really grounded. In my case, it really grounded the benefits of life coaching.
Yeah, and reflection and all the things like that as well was a big part of your portfolio.
Yeah.
And what did you find difficult? The communication skills, not communication, but the technology skills, the IT skills. Did you find it? Had you booked training in computers?
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't at the beginning, so with that, there was obviously learnings from it as well.
Yeah.
Between it didn't take that long, to be fair, but no, I'm saying that it is actually time consuming. But when you get the recordings, and for me having to transcribe each one and upload them, there is a bit. I would say it's actually great learning from it all. To be quite honest, I mean, it's great to have that skill going forward, because I'm sure this is going to arise again, having to whatever it is, record an interview, and for me, I'm going to be working as a life or a business coach going forward, and I'm sure there's going to be cases whereby I'm going to have to use that. For example, I only come across a case last weekend. I'm trying to get recognised by the International Coaching Federation, and I had to actually send forward a coaching demo that I had done. So as part of getting registered with the International Coaching Federation. So that skill that I'd learned from doing my thesis has obviously helped me. In that it really sped things up for me.
Right. Dessie, I'd like to thank you so much for doing this as part of my portfolio. You've been very, very beneficial.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.